Time now to take a look at the international newspapers, and for that I'm joined by Nicholas Rushworth. Hello.
Hi.
Nicholas, what have you got to start off with?
I'm going to start out with the crisis over Syria and L'Orient Le Jour, the Lebanese paper, which headlines Les Arabes s'accrochent, l'opposition syrienne dit stop. And there you can see it. And there, Syria's opposition activists are saying they want the Arab League mission to stop. Now, in Cairo yesterday, the Arab League made clear that it was going to continue. The photo on the front page of the Lebanese paper there shows opposition activists outside Arab League headquarters in Cairo hanging an effigy of the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad.
And The Observer, the sister paper of British newspaper The Guardian, had an interview over the weekend with the general in charge of that Arab League mission.
Well, that man is Mohammed al-Dabi, and he said to the paper that observers are getting enough cooperation from Damascus and are only at the start of their mission. There you can see the headline there, The Guardian, Arab League mission in Syria has only just started. Now, he points out that the African Union mission in Sudan began in 2004 and is still there. Al-Dabi is himself, of course, Sudanese, and he complained in the Observer piece about attacks on him in the US media. He is close to the Sudanese president who's wanted for war crimes. And al-Dabi also in that piece has rejected charges. The mission underway in Syria is providing a fig leaf for continuing repression. There's lots of controversy about what the Arab League's role really is there.
I saw another piece in The Guardian about Angela Merkel, who's in talks today with Nicolas Sarkozy, and it's the articles are rather on their saucy side.
It is indeed. It's a bit saucy. Look at this. Merkel holds whip hand in orgy of masochism. Perhaps we can only get this from the Brits, because the Larry Elliott, the economics editor of The Guardian, is saying that actually le vice anglais, the English vice, otherwise known as masochism, is spreading across Europe and has become the fétiche du jour, the fetish of the day. And he looks at examples, for example, in Italy, Mario Monti saying to his mistress Angela Merkel, "Oh, mistress, I deserve to be punished for my lack of fiscal discipline. Please don't spare me." And then another example is Spain. Basically, the Larry Elliott there in the piece is saying Spain has got measures in the pipeline that are simply pain for pain's sake. So there's a kind of wave that's all gone a bit out of hand as far as he's concerned.
Masochism, the fetish of the day. Right. Okay, moving on now to Africa. There's a general strike in Nigeria today, and that's over the rising cost of fuel.
Nigeria's The Daily Independent headlines, tension as nationwide strike begins. Now, that protest is taking place amid spiralling violence in the country blamed on Islamists. President Goodluck Jonathan's government ended fuel subsidies on New Year's Day. Petrol prices have more than doubled since then, so there's a real lot of social tension going on in the country. Now, an opposition leader in Lagos State has slammed Goodluck Jonathan, saying his government is moving to restrict mass action by unions today, and that is nothing less than a clear mutation towards fascism and a declaration of war on the Nigerian people. I think we're going to hear more about the Nigerian problem as it grows.
Right, so sticking with Africa now, the local press there has been looking at the ANC division on the 100th anniversary of the party.
Well, I took a look at all the South African press this morning, and none of it was favourable to the ANC. It was all critical. This is the Sowetan, which ordinarily should be very positive, and it manages a fairly tame headline, Zuma calls for new leaders. And the subheading there is that basically the African National Congress needs to enhance its moral standing. I turned to another paper in South Africa, the Herald South Africa. Now, that's saying in an editorial that the ANC must adapt or die. It says Zuma on this 100th anniversary has failed to articulate a vision of the organisation with people agitated with its rule in the last 17 years. Now, that paper there is asking, well, is the ANC going to see another centenary? Not very certain. And that was all over the South African press, very critical, really, of basically the ANC crumbling.
And to finish with, you've been looking at coverage of World No Pants Day.
Well, this is in the Vancouver Sun. It has a series of photos of people using the transport system worldwide. This is someone not quite fully dressed, two people actually, in the New York subway. And Sunday was, of course, World No Pants Day, and there were people wearing no pants in Mexico City, Seattle, London, New York, and that idea started out in New York over a decade ago. When I was looking through the various pieces about it to try and find out, I couldn't work out exactly why. Why are they doing this? But it's a nice bit of antidote to the doom and gloom we used to do.
And not in Paris, as far as you could tell?
No, my colleague asked that, but we couldn't find anything.
All right. OK, thanks very much, Nicholas, for that look at the international press.